Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Chris, also known as the Cheating Lefty, and I am at the Wobbin Disc Golf Course to bring you a different style of disc review. Now, if you happen to like this style more than the traditional, let me know in the comments down below. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to keep improving the channel. Let me know what style you like more, and if you like both, we'll keep doing both. For this review, I am going to be reviewing the Zone OS from DISCRAFT. I know I'm a little bit late to the party. I apologize about that. But I did want to get out, play around with the Zone OS, and give you my impressions. Without further ado, let's get out to the course. Let's play some. Hey everyone, I apologize for the interruption. If you need to purchase any new discs, whether just to add to your collection or something you want to try out, be sure to visit GreatLakesDisc.com for all your disc buying needs. And also, at checkout, be sure to use the promo code LEFTY. That way you will save 10% off your order, and you'll also be helping the channel. I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I appreciate the support. If you're not a subscriber of the channel, please subscribe. Also, smash that like button if you want to see more of this content. All right, now let's go ahead and play some disc golf. All right, so hole one, pretty straightforward hole. You got the OB sidewalk off to the side. You got the one tree right in front of the basket to miss. Just a stock hyzer, no matter if you're a righty or lefty. So this should be pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Now, I really have not thrown the Zone OS, so I don't know how exactly overstable it is, but I'm going to give it a pretty good flex. Let this guy pass on by in case I shank it. All right. Yeah, that's beefy. First official putt with the Zone OS. A little bit of a low ceiling. Okay. Initial feel with the grip. Feels a little deep, a little deeper than I like. All right, there we go. Okay, hole two. This, I think, is going to line up better for a forehand shot. I just don't like that low ceiling here, so for the backhand. So I think I'm going to go forehand. Probably put a decent amount of flex on this. That was a decent amount of flex, but that was still way short. Whew. Okay, well, I am not giving the Zone OS enough credit. This thing is definitely beefier than I even thought. So I guess I'm going to have to really force it over if I want to get any kind of distance off of this. Okay. Okay. For putting, this thing just likes to drop right out of the sky. My goodness. Got to give this thing either a lot of spin or a lot of height. All right, going to go for another flex backhand. I'm going to see if this can get any kind of skip. I'm probably going to try to keep it kind of low and just see if I can get how much ground play the Zone OS is going to get. Oh, threw that a little higher than I wanted. On the same line, though. Okay, hey, that's probably about 15 feet short, but not going to complain about it. All right, so yeah, this is definitely a disc you can trust. Just about any kind of wind, anything like that. This is not going to ever turn over. This is always going to fight out of it. All right, so after 3 holes, want to give you guys a little bit of an update. So first, the profile. I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but this thing is absolutely board flat. I mean, just perfectly flat. Also, a little bit deep. So I mentioned for putting, it feels a little bit deep. Backhand, it feels very comfortable. If I were throwing the Zone OS, backhand is where I would be the most comfortable throwing it. Forehand, I've only thrown the one shot, but the rim really likes to dig into my hand. It's a little bit sharp. Now, as like a windy putter, maybe I'll change my thoughts on using it as like a putter in the wind. But right now, it's just, again, it's a little bit too deep. Still got another 6 holes. We'll see how I feel by the end. All right, we're going to go with another forehand. Actually, this is not set up for forehand side. Let's get you over here, people. Okay, there you go. You get to see my ugly face. Perfect. Ish. Oh, okay. Got to readjust even more. Sorry. Readjusting. There. All right, I'm gonna try again forehand. Probably just because I have more room off to the side, I'm going to throw it on a flex. Not really. Oof. I just cannot put this thing close to the basket. Okay, this one really got a lot of additional ground play, but I'm still inside the circle, so we'll take it. Stiff headwind, so I guess we'll see how this works as a headwind putter. Gonna have to put a little bit more spin on it. Okay, didn't quite get it there. All right. Okay, hole 5. Let's see. I can either go just kind of wide forehand, but then it brings the OB path into play. I could go with the backhand, which I said I've been feeling more comfortable with the backhand, but I'm worried if I yank it too much, I'm going to toss it right into that tree. So I just know it's going to just hit that, fall down. I think I'll risk the OB stroke and go really wide, just really out wide, let it crash in. Really wide. Okay, a little bit of ground play. Again, I'm just giving myself these putts. Did not get as much ground play as I was expecting, as I have gotten on a few other holes, but that's okay. Just, step up, make the putt. There we go. All right, yeah, definitely have to give it height. I'm not very good on getting that extra like spin, particularly for like headwinds. I can't get much spin on the putter. So being able to kind of loft it up a little bit when the wind is down, that's the way I would putt with this. All right, longest hole on the course. Just gonna throw this as hard as I can. Forehand again. Yeah, it really is digging in back here. It's a little bit painful, not gonna lie. But my goodness, God, that thing is just so beefy. Whew. All right, so about what I expected. I knew there was no way I was getting the Zone OS to this basket. So we're gonna try a jump putt. Just float it out there, get it within like 10, 15 feet. There we go, easy par. All right, after 6 holes, have any of my opinions changed since hole 3? Well, one, for putting, yeah, I definitely, just in general, I can't get a lot of spin on my putts, so I do have to, that's why you usually see me float it. And when you put a lot of height under this, okay, this thing can get to where you want it to go, but naturally, it has almost no glide whatsoever, so it just falls like a rock, which does work for the wind, but you really have to be able to get a lot of snap on the disc. That way you can at least get it pretty much to get to the basket. Otherwise, you're just going to come up short. Forehand, again, still, it's a little awkward forehand, a little too deep, cuts into the hand. But backhand, though, whew, I still love it. But is this a disc the average player is going to need? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think it's gimmicky, say like a tilt. Being an approach disc, it definitely has more uses. But for a player of my skill level, it's not the best approach disc. It's too beefy. It's too overstable. For bigger arms, advanced pro level players, they can definitely get a little bit more out of it. This, I mean, it has uses as a utility disc. I mean, if the winds are really up, then yes, I can see it in some situations for slower arms. But generally speaking, if you're a slower arm speed player, you don't need a disc like the Zone OS. It's just a fun disc to have. I will say, now that I'm actually learning the height that I have to put the Zone OS on for putting, I'm starting to like it a little bit more for putting. Yes, it's still a little bit too deep, but I'm liking it a little bit more. Oh, another headwind putt. Okay, there we go. Made the adjustment from the last time. All right, so I know in reality this is not a double mando, but I always like to play this as a double mando here. And you know, I've been trying to flex over the Zone OS on both forehand and backhand, but how does it do on just a pure hyzer? Let's find out. This is a perfect opportunity for that. Oh boy. All right. All those lessons I've learned up to this point on the putting green all comes to this. Throw it high, give it a little bit of spin. It's calm. Thank you, Chains. All right, we are on to the final hole. I'm once again going to try a big flexing over forehand just because I have a lot more space over this side. Trees are a little bit too close, especially if I want to play just a big flex. So we're going to go with the forehand. Nice big out, let it come back, spike in. Hopefully give ourselves a birdie putt. Got it out the way I wanted. Come on, fight back, fight back. Oh, it's a little short, maybe circle's edge. Embarrassing. All right, that actually went a little bit further than I thought. I am well within the circle. Whew, not as embarrassing as I thought. All right. You know, for using just one disc, an extremely overstable disc that I've never thrown before, I'll take a 7 down here. All right, so that was a round with the Zone OS, and what are my parting thoughts with it? Well, first, profile-wise, again, this thing is incredibly flat. It's a little bit deeper than what I expected, and a little bit sharper of a rim, but you know, for backhand, that made it feel very, very comfortable. For forehand, even though this part did dig into my hand with my forehand grip, it was still tolerable. I mean, it did hurt first few throws until I really kind of adjusted how it sat in my hand. I got it to be, I don't want to say comfortable, but it was tolerable towards the end. For putting, I don't quite get the snap in order to putt this really well into headwinds, but this thing is really going to serve great as a headwind putter if you can get a lot of spin on the disc, if you're not like a pitch floaty putter like me who gets it up in the wind. But then again, at the same time, because of how little glide this has, it's just going to fall flat to the ground. It's not going to go past the basket very far, so you don't have to worry about long comeback putts. Now, overall, again, for amateur level players, I don't really think the Zone OS is something you'd want to be looking for, except if it's a, really particular. It's an extremely windy day. Like even this isn't even windy enough. It would have to be those sustained 25, 30 mile an hour winds for me to even want to use a disc like the Zone OS. But for those of you with really fast arms and the advanced pro level, then absolutely, I can really see the uses for this. You can use it then more, like all these holes were almost under 200 feet. The longest one being about 250, 260, but I could barely get it to those baskets. So that means I can only throw this thing about 200 feet. Now, for some players, that's all you need out of an approach disc. For players with faster arms, you could stretch this quite a bit further and just know you have a very trustworthy disc that in any kind of conditions, wind or whatnot, it's always going to fly exactly the same. So again, top tier level players, this is really the approach disc for you. For us mortals, till next time everyone, keep banging them chains.